Let's talk more about the reality of the Baltimore Orioles and what happens as we sit at the trade deadline, or we move towards the trade deadline. I know the guys in the bat around were off this week, so it's good to be able to make up for it by having our friend Zach Moore, former Orioles minor leaguer, Pigtown sports creator, and host of the bat around, back with us now here on GCR. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. It's good to be back. I don't know. I'm in this weird place where I'm really starting to think that, like, whatever the Orioles' decisions are, we might be living in a world where some of those decisions are made on legitimately August 1st. And I say that, like, I think it's possible that next week they get an offer for Taylor Ward and they say, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and trade him. I think it's also possible that next week they the way that they traded for who's the guy from the Pirates they traded for over the weekend, Griffin, whose name already escapes me. I think they could make moves like that. But, like, what was it?
Cam something, right?
Cam Saunders, is that
Yes,
it? Yes.
Saunders, yeah.
I think making a broader decision, I'm starting to think that it might, like, literally be August 1st before they make, like, a broader decision about exactly what their direction is.
I think it's fair. It's probably smart, honestly, because, I mean, when you look at the pitching staff's been pitching pretty good. I mean, even if it's just a couple weeks, even losing Ryan Helsley, it's a big deal for
Yeah.
that bullpen. The bullpen was already pretty short. Now it's even shorter. I mean, Aiken's been throwing the ball better as of late, but again, losing a guy like him, having to rely on another younger guy, now your bullpen's down two guys. It's just the bullpen's been a problem since the offseason when we talked about it. And I think now it's in even a worse state, even with the starting staff being a lot better right now. With the offense and the bullpen, I'm with you. I don't think there's a reason to make a jump early. I don't think one or two guys makes this team any better either. I think you need three bullpen guys maybe, and then maybe another offensive player at this point, and then a starting pitcher. I mean, I could certainly see, and look, I still think they're going to be buyers and sellers. I think they're going to look to buy pieces that make the team better this year and next year, kind of like they did with Trevor Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they sell guys like Taylor Ward that help do that. But yeah, I can certainly see them waiting a good bit to the very last hour.
It's really interesting you bring up Trevor Rogers there, because I think he's the really fascinating one in this. Because and I think you and I kind of agree with Taylor Ward. If you've got an offer for Taylor Ward that's good, with no disrespect to what Taylor Ward has done this season, and thank God somebody chose to get on base, I don't think that you make a decision about Taylor Ward based on wins and losses. I think it's if you can get something of significance or that you think is good for Taylor Ward, you're going to go ahead and make that move. I think the Rogers one is the more complicated one, because if you're truly in it, then it feels very deflating. It feels very white flag to trade away Trevor Rogers. And yet, Trevor Rogers, the way he's pitched of late, could be an actual asset. And I'm not trying to oversell that because he's still a rental piece, but the way he's pitched of late, he's a desirable asset. So I think the Rogers one is the more complicated, like, where do you need to be willing to entertain it? Where are you that you can't even think about it because of the message that you'd be sending your club? I think that the Rogers one really is quite complicated moving towards the deadline.
Me, it's a 0%. This is a guy that, even if he's not a top of the rotation arm, right? He's a quality major league starter that you want to have. It's a guy that you're going to pursue in the offseason anyway, and multiple teams are going to as well. Why would you give him the opportunity to go somewhere and maybe like it better, right? Give him a contract extension. Doesn't have to be, groundbreaking or anything. I don't know what he's particularly looking for. His market value is 19 a year. Give him something in the range of 21, 22, which I think is respectable nowadays. And he's probably earned that. I mean, he's had a solid over a full season now of doing pretty much the same thing. I don't see how, even if you didn't sign him yet, right, you still have the opportunity as a qualifying offer. I think he would take 22. Is it 22 or 23 this year? Either way,
yeah.
I think he would take that.
Do you?
Are you getting back something that's as valuable as a comp pick?
You really think he would take a qualifying? I think that's where you and I depart. I don't think he would take, if he's pitching like this, I don't think there's a chance in hell he's taking a qualifying offer.
I don't think he would either, because obviously he's going to get a multi-year deal from
Right.
somebody. But I'm
But
not going to give myself an opportunity not to have him here in some capacity, in
but
some
but
way, trying.
that's what makes this so complicated to me, right? Like if you're in this position that you're in right now, where you're sub 500, where you're in it, whether we call it 2 games, 3 games, but you're only in it because everybody's in it. Are you? And there's a real offer on the table. I get what you're saying is, hey, a qualifying offer, you can still get a draft pick. I know part of this is, hey, what is that offer? Like you can always get something, and that's why you hold on to him. But are you chasing something that's not real if this is the position that you're in a couple of weeks?
I'm looking at next year too, and I want to give myself an opportunity to sign Rogers now and leave him here and, keep things working well with Basayo and Drew French. The things that are working for him in his career, keep it going. Don't allow him to go somewhere else and maybe get better or, maybe like it better. I don't want to give him an opportunity to leave and not come back. Now, I understand you can go out and just re-sign him in the offseason. That's fine. But you already have to replace Eflin. You already have to replace Bassett. Do you really want to have to also replace Trevor Rogers? Like, you're putting yourself in a no-win position, which they've done several years in a row now, having to getting multiple starters. I'd rather try to lock this guy up now and then try, only have to focus on one top of the rotation guy and then, maybe see what I get out of Brandon Young and Trey Gibson next year.
Yeah.
Rather than chasing 2 or 3 starters. It's tough because, yeah, cool, you get some prospects back that are probably going to be pretty good for Trevor Rogers, but
And
do
certainly
they
you
help
would
next year?
presume it would be available more quickly to you than whatever comp pick you're getting back if he signs elsewhere on the
Right.
qualifying offer.
But, prospects are still suspects.
Yes.
Trevor Rogers, he's a proven, pretty
I look,
darn good left-handed
Zach, I
pitcher
think
in his
this comes
league.
back to, like, I'm with you in that I'm okay with signing Trevor Rogers. I'd like to sign Trevor Rogers, but presumably you've had the opportunity to have those conversations at this point, and I just don't know that
Yeah.
holding on to someone in hopes that those vibes end up being the difference maker. And we all know that, an agent is going to tell you, hey, it sucks to your vibes. We got an offer on the table and we're going to go take it. That's the part where I end up sort of I get more, it's more difficult for me. I would love for the Orioles to sign Trevor Rogers at this point because I'm with you. It doesn't solve their pitching problem, but it takes a step towards it. But if they haven't done it yet, I just don't know why I think it's going to be different at the end of September.
If you get, a top 50 arm that's in, AA, AAA that you have 6 years control, maybe 2 of them,
Mm-hmm.
I can start to see the argument, but we haven't been able to land that arm that we've been looking for years. Don't put yourself in a position to have to fill 2 of those instead of just 1. I get it. The trade back for him, it's going to have to be exceptional. I feel like most teams in a league are going to put together a pretty solid package to bring him in. He may be, I mean, I may be overstretching here, but he may be probably the most realistic top target left-handed pitcher this break. So, I mean, the package would be pretty high. But
and that's what makes it so complicated to me, right? Because
right.
if they extend, if this win streak they take into the break turns into them winning, 8 out of 11 on the other side, then obviously we shut down this conversation altogether. But I just am not willing to buy into the idea that winning 4 and sweeping the Royals at home is a statement about things truly turning for the Orioles. And if they play basically the same type of baseball coming out of the deadline as they had for the first half, I just don't, holding on to something because you're mathematically still within distance of a wild card spot, that doesn't seem wise to me strategically.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, this team's pretty flawed, but the only thing positive that I will say about it is they finally did what they were supposed to, and that is sweep the
That is
Royals
true,
at home.
right?
So I mean, maybe you take it with a grain of salt. But either way, I mean, they've got to be just more consistent across the board. I mean, now you're losing one of your best defenders. Obviously your hottest hitter. I mean, that's going to put a damper in 2 different spots on the whole team. And then you've lost 2 bullpen arms. And the hits keep coming. But I mean, you do have to look at it. All you have to do is get in, and crazier things have happened. But I mean, you still have to jump several teams. Thankfully, they get to play two teams right out of the break here that are ahead of them. They have a chance to move up, and then they also have a chance to just be, the season's over, right?
Yep.
Right after these next two seasons. So, um, I would say pretty much right after these two series here, and they're going to be huge series, especially on the road. You're going to find out a lot about what they're going to do with Trevor Rogers too.
He is Zach Moore. He's with us here on GCR. Zach, you bring up Blaze Alexander in particular. What does this look like to you now moving forward without Blaze Alexander?
Just another hole to fill.
But how?
Right, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, they've been trying to fight these holes all year and several years, really. And this guy looked like a guy that could, plug a hole for you for a good while here. And I mean, look, Mayo got a shot early in the year and didn't take it and run with it, and Blaze did. Now Mayo gets another chance. Now obviously he's demolishing the ball against lefties, but he gets an opportunity against righties here to kind of show maybe he's turning a corner here. Defense with Mayo, I think, was better than expected. And if he can keep that going, maybe
I think when you say the defense,
but
I think the range in particular and the instincts I agree with. It was just and not even like the arm, like the strength. We all know the strength is fine. It's just the problem that you can now understand that everybody pointed out is you just don't know for sure exactly where the throws are going when he makes them.
Yes. Yeah. He gets another opportunity to do it every day. I don't know who they bring up, whether that's going to be Encarnacion and Strand or if it's going to be Luis Vasquez. I mean, Vasquez, you at least know is going to give you a quality glove coming off the bench, but I mean, Strand can hit. But I feel like Strand and Mayo may be the same type of player. I mean, do you want to waste assets bringing somebody in too that is going to maybe just fill a bench role for you Luis Vasquez could do, but he's also not. I don't believe he's on the 40-man. Don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
But either way, if you bring somebody in or if you bring him up, like you have to make another move, and they've had a rough year with it. I can't think of anybody else that they have an opportunity to bring up. And
I know there's been a little bit of rumblings now that Jeremiah Jackson has hit a little bit again going into the break. Is there any argument for doing more of a shift, having Jeremiah Jackson play second, Jackson Holliday at short, and Gunnar at third?
Maybe Jackson Holliday at third. Maybe I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, they've practiced it at least a little bit this year. I don't think they've practiced Gunnar at third at all, or Holliday at short at all. So I mean, it just depends how quickly you want to kind of shuffle things around, or if you just want to kind of go with what you've already used. Has Jeremiah played third last year?
I know he played I think he played a little bit. I feel like we did this math, and it was a little bit, and we weren't impressed. But I'll double check. Hang on a second.
Yes, I mean, at worst case, maybe you have a rotation between Jeremiah, Jackson Holliday, and Kobe. Depending on matchups and whatnot.
Yeah, he played.
Obviously, with the lefty up right now,
he played 13. He played 13 games at third last year.
Yeah, I can't remember it was much, but I mean, maybe for a left-handed pitcher right now, you have a rotation with Jeremiah at second and Kobe at third. And then you have Holliday be able to come off the bench late game, and then you can move Jeremiah to the outfield or something like that. I mean, at least Jeremiah is a little bit athletic where he can play multiple positions. Not that Holliday can't, but I don't think they've worked on it. But just trying to find another puzzle piece that doesn't fit and try to make it fit at this point. With these injuries are just. You can't catch a break with them.
No, that's I mean, among their other issues, that is their reality.
Yeah.
That is what they're dealing with. Zach, as we talk about Jackson Holliday, we finally saw some signs of life from him going into the break. Did you see anything that was different, or just like the results ended up being better?
I feel like his eye this year has gotten better at times, and then at times he realizes that he's very valuable just hitting a ball up the middle or hitting it to left field instead of trying to hit it 500 feet to the right side. I don't know if that's an organizational philosophy with him and among others, but it does look like sometimes he's trying to hit the warehouse. But I mean, when he stays up the middle, his hands are fast. They're strong. He's a smart kid. when he finally realizes that I can be the guy that can just spray the ball around the field and run for doubles and triples all day, I think he's going to be an excellent hitter. Granted, he's still very young, 10th youngest player in the league, I believe. As long as he just keeps getting better in some capacity. I feel like the defense has gotten a little bit better this year. The range has gotten just maybe a step better, which is, hey, we're making strides here. I feel like his instinct has gotten better. But, I mean, the hitting-wise, there's times where he looks like it's finally figured out, and then it goes back to, like,
Right.
let me swing over and, fall over and stuff like that. The consistency part hasn't been there that you would want to see out of him just yet. I don't want to keep saying that, we have time. Because he's young, but yes, we are approaching 1,000 career at-bats kind of thing. But then you look at a guy like Jordan Walker, right? He's had 3 years in the big leagues, and it just finally clicked this year. So everybody is different. I just want to keep seeing Jackson kind of just do the little things right. Stay up the middle of the field, use left center gap, use left field line for all I care. He's got wheels. We know it. Just hit it and run a little bit. We know you can hit power. Just hit it when you need to.
Yeah, get on base. Like, just get on base. That's what we're looking for. That's the reality.
Do you feel like the game is changing a little bit back to the old school way of getting guys on base?
Well, are you saying that because of the Brewers, right? Like, this is the part.
It's not just the Brewers anymore.
You're right. It's not the Orioles, right? Like, it's a lot of other teams. Somebody made this argument to me earlier this year. That this is everybody zigged, so now a couple of teams are starting to zag again, and I don't know. I don't know what your thought was about Eric Booth, but it was interesting to me that, like, they didn't take another Vance Honeycutt, they didn't take another Enrique Bradfield, right? Like, I do wonder if maybe everybody realized there was a bit of an overcorrection, and so now they're trying to get back to the mean a little bit, at least, like a little bit more towards the mean. I'm not ready because you still see a lot of swinging out of your shoes, so I'm not fully ready to say that, like, it's back. But I know why you're asking the question, and I think that there's a louder conversation being had around baseball about perhaps an overcorrection towards, hey, why are we pretending like it's a bad thing for someone to go backside and get a base hit? It's like, why do we hate Luis Arias? Why do we hate this guy? All he does is hit, and we're not willing to give him any money at all to play baseball, and all he's going to do for you is come in and constantly get base hits and be on base.
Yeah. I mean, the game kind of pushed out Hanser Alberto, remember?
Oh,
He had getting on base.
Absolutely.
And then just didn't play really much anymore after that.
God, man.
But, yeah, I mean, I would love to see, especially us kind of adopt, like you said, a means approach there, kind of a bit of both.
Yes.
Because there's several guys on this team that can drive backside and stretch a double pretty easily. And I'd love to see it just a little bit more. And I think it would get the offense a little bit more back on track compared to what it is. This offense should be a lot better than it is, especially with the pitching coming around. I mean, they fix that. I think they can get themselves back into the conversation.
I agree with you, but, like, they're running out of time, man. Like, it has to happen ASAP. It has to be immediate for that to be the case. What'd you think of the Derby?
I thought it was good. I mean, I still like the outs over the swing, but I mean, at least with the last pitch being kind of considered like an out, I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it'd be electric. Philly fans were. Yeah. I thought it was neat how they booed everybody because it kind of made you feel like an away game, like a playoff game almost. I felt like they were into it.
Here's my quick hot take. I think the format was fine. I don't think it was as good. I think people are reacting to the atmosphere and allowing that to influence. I think the format was fine, but I don't think it's like they solved the home run derby. I think the atmosphere made it electric. I think that's why everyone enjoyed the home run derby so much last night, was just because the atmosphere was awesome.
They didn't hit many home runs with the maroon ball, did they? Maybe, what was it, 2 or 3?
I don't remember there being a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't think it was until that final round with Schwarber and Walker.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't many at all. and I don't know if it's like the change of color messed them up. It
Wow,
seemed
that's
like
an
most
interesting
guys popped it
thought,
up.
right? Like that is an interesting thought.
Yeah.
That like when you're so used to seeing one thing that all of a sudden I didn't thought of
Somebody pointed out. So last year when they were doing the time thing, there was like 270 home runs hit or something, and the same time for about 2.5 hours. Last night there was only 130.
And yet everybody seemed to enjoy it a
Yeah,
great deal.
yeah.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I think that's just I don't think that you can assume that replicates in every city because I don't know that you're going to have a Bryce Harper and a Kyle Schwarber participating in every home city.
Right.
Or
but when you come to Baltimore, you got Pete and Basayo.
it's a great point. That is a great point. If they ever come to Baltimore, remind everybody where they're finding you, Zach.
Pretty much any social media site, Pigtown Sports.
That's the place, and of course the bat around Sunday nights with us here at Press Box. Always appreciate you, brother. Let's talk again real soon. All right.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Zach Moore, former Orioles minor leaguer, Pigtown Sports. That's where you find him.